you all are safe and fine. Children, today we are going to study about a lesson in your main course book. What? Main course book? Yes, children. Before we could go into the subject, let's become familiar with the books which are prescribed for English in Standard 6. Till Standard 5, you would have been using Wave series, where all the prose, poetry and grammar in one. But in Class 6, you have 3 different books: Literature, MCB and Workbook. Let's know about them. In the Literature book, we'll be dealing with prose and poetry. This will be dealt in detail and the entire prescribed portion will be tested for the exams. Next is the MCB or main course book. In this book, you will be reading lessons based on theme, and each theme consists of 2 prose lessons and 1 poem. Students, make a note that the lessons in this book will not be tested. Instead, only the grammar exercises will be dealt in detail and will be tested for the exams. The lessons are only to enrich your vocabulary and reading skill. The third book is your grammar or workbook. The exercises will be dealt in detail, and the exercises in the book are an extension of your MCB. Students, I hope you all are clear with the books prescribed for you. As said by me before, today we are going to deal with the MCB. How many of you like traveling? I can hear many voices. Yes, and especially if it is with your friends, how would you feel? Wow, that's really a good and interesting one, isn't it? Yes. If you're going to go for a long journey, what are the things required? I can hear a few voices. Good. Map, magnetic compass, shoes, travel bag, etc. Can you guess the name of the lesson, what we are going to study today? Yes, it's a first lesson, A Walk to Remember by Jerome. Before we could read the lesson, let's know about the author. Jerome was an English writer who was best known for his comic travelogue, 3 Men in a Boat. 3 Men on the Bummel is the follow-up to the 3 Men in a Boat. It describes the adventures that Jerome enjoys with his friends George and Harris. Jerome was very interested in new ideas and experiences. He traveled widely throughout Europe and America several times. His works have been translated into several foreign languages, and 3 Men in a Boat is considered a classic today. The characters in this lesson are Jerome, the author, Harris, and George. Jerome and his friends Harris and George are on a holiday in Germany. They planned to go for a walk to the Todmos village. They decided to take a walk. The 3 friends, on their way, they inquire an old man about how to reach the village. The villager gives them a few tips. After a mile further, the road would divide into 3 or 4 directions. They find a signpost where one of the arms of the signpost has disappeared. They face a lot of problems. Jerome tries to lead them to the village of Todmos, but the road ended in a large wasp's nest. Cyrus wanted to use science to solve the problem. He believed that science was exact and hence he could easily find the location. George wanted to go back to the village and hire a guide to help them so that it could save their time. Children, these three men had a very close friendship. Though they fought among themselves, they tried to correct one another. When they realized their mistakes, they apologized themselves. While each of them boasted about their individual skills, they also listened to others. As these men were traveling, Jerome became very sad because he had been walking for nearly 3.5 hours. But still, they were not able to find the location for Todmas. They were close to the place where they had begun their walk. That when they saw the church, they realized, because everyone remembered the church, it had a special quality. Because it was not only a beautiful one, but it also had an outside staircase, which was an unusual feature. At last, George said that he can see a man down there. He said that he is going to offer him the worth of the hay he is cutting to lead them straight to Todmos. All the others followed him. George's plan worked out, and they reached a point that was very short distance away from the spot where they have to go. With the help of the gentleman George had seen, they finally found the road, but reached Todmos 4 hours later than what they had calculated to reach it. Students, as said by me, the questions will not be dealt for the MCB exercise.